I don't know if you've noticed, but fall is around the corner. So that means we need to get busy making some new wreaths. So, are you making some boring wreaths out there? Well, we need to stop that right now. We need to make fall wreaths that wow. So let me show you how. Okay, so I got this ribbon last Christmas. When I bought it, I thought it was more of a gold ribbon, but I thought, you know what? I'll save it for fall. And I'm really glad I did. I'm going to take a wooden round frame that I got at Hobby Lobby and some other products that I got at Hobby Lobby, and we're going to paint this frame. And we're going to do a couple steps here. But one of the things that I like to do is put down that Glad press and seal wrap. It will save your surface in more ways than one. And then I'm going to just take some chalk paint. I got this chalk paint either at Hobby Lobby or Walmart. I can't remember which, but pick the color you want. I went with an off-white, and then we're going to kind of age it here in a moment, and you'll kind of see what we do. But take a good chalk paint and paint it. I did paint the front and the back and let that dry. And once that was all dried, we were ready for the next step. While we let that dry, let's go ahead and make a really fun bow. Now, what I like about this ribbon, I believe I got it from the Wreath shop, and on one side it's a velvet and on the other side it's a satin. And here's the thing, we're not going to measure. Nope. We are just going to make loops. And I was just looking at this, going back and forth, holding it in the middle with my two left fingers on my left hand and coming back. And we did about, 6 loops on each side. Once I did the 6 loops, I got a zip tie and we added it to the center. Now here's the thing, this is kind of a messy bow. This doesn't have to be any which direction, but you're just going to have fun with it. So I guess I made 4 loops on each side. We just needed a bunch of loops. Then we're going to take a zip tie and we're going to add it to the middle. See, there's no like really matchy look. I wanted to look this way on purpose because I feel like things that don't necessarily match kind of come out and bring the beauty out of something a little bit more than having everything be perfect, because let's be honest, there's no perfection in crafting. Then we're going to take another set of bows and we're going to, not bows, but ribbon. You know what I mean. It's hard to talk. But we're going to make some more loops and we're going to make these smaller loops, and I just wanted some more tails. So we just did 2 loops on each side. So we had like a total of 5 loops on each side of this ribbon. And at first I did use, I think I used this. I didn't really love it, but I did use it. Make sure you subscribe. That's why we're here, so that you can watch every week and learn something new. But we're going to set this to the side and get back to our wreath frame because you know what? It's dry and it's ready for our attention. So let's just put this little ribbon, the kind of the star of the show, to the side. Then you're going to get your wreath frame out, and I'm going to kind of give it a good kind of sanding just to kind of show some wear and tear on this wreath. And if you look to the left of the screen, you're going to see that I have my gold rub and buff, some gloves, because it is important. I've learned my lesson many times. Use gloves when you use rub and buff. I'm just saying. You can get this on Amazon. You can get this at Hobby Lobby, but you're going to want to use gloves. I promise. Just trust me on this. Ask me how I know. Then you're going to wipe up the surface because as you can see, there's dust there. So that dust needs to be cleaned up. Then you're going to put those gloves on and we're going to put some rub and buff on. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot about this step. I did make this a few days ago, but we're going to take some wipes. Yeah, baby wipes. If you don't have baby wipes in your craft stash, order yourself some, okay? And this was just a glaze that I wanted to age my piece here. And I forgot that I added this, but now I see it as the editing process is happening. And that wet wipe is just really nice. It's going to bring up the different parts of where you sanded and just kind of add a little bit of texture. Because let's be honest, you can't see the depth of this wreath frame that we used in a picture. But just trust me, you can distress this as much as you want, add as much of this varnish that I got at Hobby Lobby as you want, and then we're going to add some of this gold rub and buff, not buff and rub. But you understand, this is just like a little makeup sponge. I think I got them at the Dollar Tree, and I just put a little bit on, and I went to town. I just put as much as your heart desires. Really, when it comes to crafting, it's all about what your heart desires, right? So if you love it, you put it up on there. That's all that matters. So you're going to go through this and add it to your wreath. And I know this is not the normal wreath frame, but this is a little bit different. And it was a lot of fun to make. And I really like it. I'll be probably hanging this or giving it away. Anyways, why do I give them away? I give them to you if you're in my email list. And if you're watching this video right now and you got the link in your email list, will you let me know in the comments down below? That kind of helps me know if our emails are getting opened. But that's how I give stuff away. So I hope you guys will get on my email list. The info will be down below. So all we did was we took this one fall foliage looking bush that I got from Hobby Lobby last year. Yes, I literally keep my stuff from the year before. And we're just going to dissect it. Remember how I always tell you guys, just start dissecting it. And here's the thing. If you are making this for spring or summer or Christmas or fall, getting a bush with different leaves, different flowers, different like dried looking limbs there. I don't know what that's called. But that kind of brings you into this whole thing of being able to make something that is like comprehensive. All right. I don't know if that makes sense, but it kind of gets your colors together and your greenery together, and it takes the guessing out of it. Then I'm going to use my amazing electric staple gun that I got from Amazon. I'll leave that link down below too, because guys, you just need it. You do. And we're going to staple a lot of the things and elements onto this wreath because the base is wood and it works. And this little staple gun, it charges up like you charge your phone. So it's amazing and it's got good power. I literally reupholstered a bed with it. So I'm just saying it works. So we're just going to go in different directions here. And sometimes I add a little bit more of those staples than I want. Sometimes I add a little bit of hot glue, but you can kind of see that I can even take a stem and go through one of the staples that's already there, add a little bit of this, I don't know, what do you call it? Goldenrod, or just, honestly, it looks like weeds, but it does add a nice little touch to our wreath. And you're just gonna keep adding that. I did have a bunch of this. This was from Michael's that I had in my stash, and I thought I'm gonna add a few more pieces. So you can always add this at any point. So here's the thing. We're gonna get a little faster. We're gonna get a few zip ties out too. And that's how we're going to put it together. I didn't want to use extra foam because I feel like it kind of bulks it up. As you can see, I just took a zip tie there because it's going to be covered by the other flower. I added another flower within that zip tie, and then I just strengthen that zip tie, pull it to close, and then you just cut it off, right? So that's good, right? We don't have a bunch of glue, and honestly, if you live in a warmer climate, this might be right up your alley. Another thing to consider when making this project, if you are a seller, a creative that likes to go to craft shows, this is a really inexpensive project to make. And this is one of those things that you can make and not have a really high price point. Depends on the florals you use, depends on the ribbon. But as you can see, we're going to put the bow on. I added a little bit of staples just to kind of keep it in one spot. And then I like to add a little piece of felt just to protect our door, our wall, our window, wherever we're going to hang it, right? Safety is really important. You never want to make something that might damage a wall or a door. Then I just took some of this jute. Again, I always have this on hand. And I made a little loop, and we're going to literally just staple it onto the back of the wreath, okay? And again, you're going to want to add a little piece of felt over this part. But you could have just made a little slip knot, but I didn't do that. And hindsight is 2020 because I look at this and I'm like, oh, I could have done something a little different, but that's okay. I like the way that this turned out. But this really was a fun project to make, and I hope that you enjoyed it as well. After you get that all done and said, you can really kind of fluff your loops. I like the whimsy of these loops. I like the fact that they're not perfect. I feel like it adds to the elegance of the simplicity of this wreath. And remember, if you want more flowers, put more flowers. If you want shorter ribbon, use shorter ribbon. If you want to use 2.5-inch wired ribbon, you do that. But I just had this ribbon from last year. I didn't use it, and I'm like, oh, I gotta use it. So one of the things that I like to do, you just saw me do it, I take my 2 fingers, I run it from the top of the base of the bow down to the tails. And this is the look that I prefer. Or you can do this. You can loop it around your finger and start rolling it in, and then you're going to pull the little edge out and make it kind of unfurl and have a beautiful, like, coiled like ribbon. It's really up to you. But let's start on our next project. So this is a project that we did about 2 years ago. You can get all of the supplies from Hobby Lobby. So here's the thing. I made an original longer tutorial that might be a little bit easier to follow than this one, but I really want to make sure that you know what's on this channel. And this was one of my favorite fall wreaths of all time. And this was so much fun to make. And again, I think you can still get all of these supplies at Hobby Lobby. So we start off with this like 12-inch wreath form that is foam, and then we put some felt on the back, and I got one of their garlands, and we started the garland on the outside with some floral pins, and we go around the wreath, and this kind of makes it a little bit easier. So you're going to use those floral pins. Make sure to dip it in my glue pot. I was doing that. And then we're going to add it around, and we're going to keep adding it and just kind of editing it. Then we're going to take another one or whatever's left, and we're going to do this on the inside. We're going to use kind of an individual pick inside the middle of it, and then we'll come back for the outside. Now here's the problem with this project. I wanted this to be more neutral. So you want to know what I did? I took a tip from a friend of mine who's an amazing florist. I went outside and we spray painted it. We just literally stuck the picks into a box, and I got some off-white spray paint from Hobby Lobby, and I even sprayed ferns and greenery. What I ended up with was a lot of flowers in the colors that I needed. Now here's the secret. If you go to a wedding, they sometimes spray paint those flowers, and that's why I did this, because I wanted to add a certain vibe to this wreath. So we come back inside, we have everything spray painted, it's all dried, and now we can add it to the rest of our wreath. So if you want the full list, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share the link to the full tutorial that we did a few years ago. Down in the description box, you can get all the supplies at Hobby Lobby and make your own beautiful wreath. And this is something to keep in mind. Whatever time of year, you can spray paint something. You can spray paint flowers, you can spray paint greenery, you can make it look whatever color you want. And that's the fun of crafting. You're going to create something that is unique and only belongs to you. Now, these are my favorite leaves. We'll see if Hobby Lobby has them this year, but they've had them for like the last 3 years. And I just feel like a good neutral fall leaf can't go wrong. I'm going to add a few more of these, and this wreath is going to be amazing. But listen, guys, if you want to learn how to make fall wreaths, you want to learn how to make fall decor, you're in the right place. All you have to do is subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed this throwback add to this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, share. And guys, if you would do me a favor, would you leave me some sort of leaf emoji down in the comments? But listen, if you want to make a beautiful fall wreath, this is the video to watch, and so much more. Add a few pumpkins, again, dissect the stems, but make a beautiful wreath. Well, I hope you enjoyed tonight's tutorials, and make sure to go check the full tutorial out about this fall Hobby Lobby wreath. It is so beautiful, and even though we made it a few years ago, it's still in the trending style. So we'll see you next week with a brand new video. See you later.